I don't want to say, but I'm going to say, yeah, he better. Because Babe Ruth did not face for an integrated system.
He did not.
He did not face the best of the best. Because there were some black players that were really, really good that he didn't get an opportunity to face. He's facing the best black players, Latin players, whatever player there is.
And the black players were stuck in their own league.
Right, in the Negro League.
Yes.
Skip, he's historically great. He's transcendent great. Whatever you want to say is pantheon. He is to Japan what Messi is to Argentina. He's to Portugal what Cristiano Ronaldo is.
That's true.
He's that big, Skip.
Those are good examples. I agree.
I mean, he's everything. No, Skip, we don't do it. He's better than advertised. You know how they show you the trailer and they're like, ooh, man, that's like a good movie. And then you go see the movie, they say the trailer doesn't do it justice. Whatever we use to describe Ohtani, we're not doing him justice because he's so great as a pitcher. And now you go to the other side of the plate. So how many times have we ever had the best pitcher is also the best hitter, or he's the best player?
One country rises in the east, while the other sets in the west. The bookends that make the horizon of the globe. Or should I say, bookkeepers. Baseball is coined as America's pastime, which it is. And as I've shown previously, what transpires on the diamond-shaped field in the MLB casts out sports theatrical symbolism that affects the American economy and the economy of the world. But America's counterpart to bear market baseball folklore cannot be overshadowed or overlooked any longer. The country of Japan's role to the global economy has been critical for decades, and now its position is being put promptly on display. It is no accident that Japan won the 2023 Baseball World Classic against the dominant American team, on the back of who some call the greatest baseball player ever, Shohei Ohtani. Showtime.
Trout's ready. 3-2. He struck him out! Ohtani strikes out Trout, and Japan's back on top of the baseball world.
And then you get the World Baseball Classic. You get Showtime Ohtani going up against his teammate Mike Trout. And this is what you want. You got two of the best players. Okay, what you got? Let me show you.
It was a fun battle. Obviously, it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to be, but it's what baseball wanted, I guess.
Who struck out American sports hero and Los Angeles Angels teammate Mike Trout.
He went through Mookie Betts, MVP. Mike Trout, MVP. Goldsmith, MVP. He did that. What you want to... Skip, this is like, if I'm in the Super Bowl, I want to see Jerry Rice and I want to see Deion going head to head.
Yep.
Okay, baller, money on the line. We throwing the fade. What you got? Jerry, go get it. Time, knock it down. Okay, I want to see Mike Trout. I want to see Ohtani. What you got? That's what we got.
Ohtani has put Japanese baseball back on the map ever since his ascension in the major leagues. We already understand baseball's role in the business world, but where and how does Japan come into play? What are the signs and symbolism that leads towards this notion? And if the global markets are heading for another economic downturn, what is happening on the Eastern Island financially that will affect everyone? Let's first start off with the sport in focus, baseball, and describe how popular it is in Japan in relation to America. The only country that is top 5 in baseball popularity and not in the Americas is Japan. Number 1 is the US of A, 2, Dominican Republic, 3 is Japan, 4 is Puerto Rico, and 5 is Cuba. Japan's Nippon Professional Baseball is the second most attended league in the world after the MLB. Economically speaking, Japan's stock market hit a 33-year high in 2023, with America being the largest outside investor in Japanese equities, headed by investment great Warren Buffett and his company, Berkshire Hathaway. So how does the sport of baseball and the stock market connect Japan and the USA? While Ohtani won the AL MVP in 2021, him striking out Trout is seen as the magical moment that elevated him past one of America's greatest sports heroes, Big Babe Herman Ruth. As much as it was spectacular for baseball fans, it was also symbolism for what's to come. The world of global finance is on high alert. and the Bank of Japan has all eyes on them while they showcase a more flexible approach to its yield curve control policy, YCC. Yield curve control involves targeting a longer-term interest rate by a central bank, then buying or selling as many bonds as necessary to hit that rate target. This may seem like financial jargon, but it is important for everyone. The Bank of Japan's decision is expected to have a variety of impacts on global markets, more specifically in the bond markets, which have traditionally looked to Japan as a guide. The bank's maneuvers could potentially cause bond yields to rise globally, affecting the pricing of a range of financial instruments.
For Americans, the main impact is that Japan's low rates have so far sent about $3 trillion offshore, overwhelmingly to the US and Europe, chasing higher returns. If zero policy is now history, that money will start to go home, meaning they will sell US treasuries, US stocks, European bonds and equities, everything from Brazilian sovereign debt to European power stations to high-risk loans. This could further drive down, especially the US dollar, which has already fallen almost 15% since September. Now that Chinese are pulling money home to shore up their slowing economy, if Japanese money too is going home, that takes out $2 trillion stacks that have been floating the US and European economies and the currencies.
It's like driving a car with your foot on the brakes and the gas. It can be done and it can work for maybe a block or two, but you're not going to drive from New York to LA with your foot on the gas and the brakes. It's just not going to work. The car is going to break down at some point.
It could also dramatically impact the yen and the carry trade.
The free pass may be coming to an end.
Markets exhibit characteristics of chaos theory, right? And in chaos theory, there's something known as the butterfly effect, right? A butterfly flapping its wings creates a hurricane. Japan is not a butterfly, it's a monster, okay, from the Godzilla movies. Okay, so my point is that the fact that nobody's even thinking about or considering the very real possibility that, by the way, the stock market, with that reaction last Thursday, told you is a big deal, just on the hints that the Bank of Japan might surprise, tells me that nobody is prepared for what could be a tail event starting there.
If you're a carry trader and you are borrowing that yen, and then all of a sudden it starts to, not only does the currency start to strengthen against your home currency, but now the interest cost to short it costs more. The cost of funding of your carry trade is going up, and it could go up significantly if the currency were to appreciate significantly. So what that does is it's kind of like a short squeeze on the yen. So then people buy back the yen or close out that borrow, and then that can have an effect of pushing the price up as well. What that can also do, though, is then that if you're paying off your funding, then you have to sell whatever you bought when you borrowed. Remember I said you borrow and then you go buy emerging market stocks, or you go buy US bonds, or you go buy European bonds. Well, now if you have to close out that yen short position, you have to sell whatever you bought in order to go pay off that yen or to send that money back to Japan. And so that has the potential to be very risk off, or that has the potential to be very disruptive or to spike volatility in global markets.
Soccer may be the most popular sport in the world, but soccer does not connect the hemispheres of the East and West like baseball does, especially not when you add the monetary portion. Currency may seem unnatural to some in the physical context of life, but currency's role in the global world is as natural as water flowing itself. Japan is at the epicenter of the global financial inflection point, and in the words of the wise from Michael Gayed, only few understand this. Baseball and the Japanese yen carry trade go together like white on rice.